We are live, episode 3 of the live Q&A, here to answer all your questions. The reason I do this is because a lot of people have the very similar questions. So this is a great opportunity to not just ask those questions and get them answered, but to help a lot of people that have very similar questions. So just getting set up here in the beginning, making sure we're all good to go. Cool stuff. Okay, great. So if you want to go on live with me, feel free to drop in the chat on either Facebook or YouTube. Let me know that you want to go live, and we'll go live. Or just ask your question in the chat box. What's up, Instagram? What's going on? Seaberg, what's up? Smile for me 10. Namaste, what's going on TikTok? TikTok, again, if you have questions, put them in the chat box. Facebook and Instagram, put in the chat box. YouTube, chat box. All right. Love doing these live Q&As. So I think today we have a couple people that are coming on to ask their questions. But if you want to come on live, again, on YouTube or Facebook, just let us know. Can we drop a link for people to? Yeah, you do have a question. It's not showing up on Restream for some reason. Restream's not working. That's nice. All right. So Restream isn't showing people's questions, but someone asks, "Hey, Mike, what do you have your contractors sign if they're connecting directly with clients NDA?" Okay, that's a great question. So pretty much to get started here, we have our first question. For some reason, we're having technical issues with Restream where I can't see your guys' questions here for some weird reason. Let me try this. No, it's not integrating correctly. The question again is, what do you do with your contractors when you're signing NDAs with your clients? So I'm not a legal professional, so I'm going to be careful answering this. Consult your lawyers for this one. I'll tell you what I do. Again, not legal advice, but I have them sign what's called a contractor one-way NDA that pretty much says like anything they do for Told Media or like any company that I'm working on, that they cannot share that, disclose that. It's an NDA they sign with us. Any work they do with us, they cannot disclose. So some things that we do with our contractors, NDAs, non-solicitations are big. So non-solicitations are like they can't steal clients and they can't steal contractors and they can't steal employees. We've had clients try to steal team members before, which is really funny. So that's kind of what that all does for us. Are we still having issues with it? The chat's coming up? Restream decided to be a really good service today and not bring your guys' chats on the right-hand side here, so they're not coming through. But Instagram, TikTok, if you just post your questions, I'll be answering them. Same with Facebook, YouTube. Deirdre will just let me know. Simba, what's going up? Huey, what's up, my man? Brofer, what's going on? Tommy, what's up? On TikTok, we have a question about, are you posting the YouTube videos on a regular basis? Yes, we post a weekly vlog every single Thursday. We do this live stream every single Monday, and we're going to start posting, I think, every Tuesday or Wednesday. All right, I can see Simmon's. Okay, now it's working. Was that a technical issue or was that our fault? Not sure. What's going on? Thanks for joining. Again, put your questions in the chat box, here to answer them. If you want to get our first guest ready, we can bring them on shortly as well. Kirsten says, excited for today's live stream. Thanks for joining, Kirsten. So what I want to do is answer some questions. Oh man, I'm actually not going to be able to see it. Let me see if I can pull it up on my screen here. I want to answer some questions. We got a lot of questions from Instagram. I posted a question on Instagram, or a chat box on Instagram for people to post their questions. I can't see my Instagram because it's over here. So let me just pull it up on my computer here. So we'll answer some of those if I know how to even do this, which I don't think I do. Let's see. Hey, really random, but I keep like getting hit. What? This is not working. Okay. Can't figure it out. Well, we'll answer your guys' questions later. I think we're having issues here. If you could let me know what the question is on Instagram. Do you know how to go look at those? Okay. No, don't do it on here. I need this. Okay, cool. So you know what we're going to do today? I've gotten a lot of questions. Actually, I remember one of the questions. I've gotten a lot of questions about arbitrage. So a lot of you have asked, how am I doing arbitrage? So what I want to do on this live stream is explain all of those arbitrage things that we've been working on. Or I've been doing. So when I first started this project, I had $0. I had no money. Was homeless. All I had was a cell phone and one pair of clothes. That's it. And I was able to make in profit, I think it was like $250 or $300 in 2 days, flipping stuff from the free section of Craigslist and selling it on Facebook Marketplace. So here is how the arbitrage opportunity works. You go to the free sections of Craigslist, and there's other ways to do this, by the way, that I've learned after trial and error. But couches were really great for me in the beginning. So I go on the free section of Craigslist. A lot of people give away couches for free because they're really tough to get rid of. They're heavy items. They need to be hauled, all that boring stuff. So go on the free section. I find couches that are good. And you got to look at it. You got to be able to tell, like, this looks like a nice couch. There's a lot of dumpy couches on there. I would never touch those because they don't sell. But ones that look good, that people are getting rid of, you just have to get an eye for it as you do it a little more and more. I would just copy the image, put it on Facebook Marketplace, copy the text, paste it, make the text better, post it on Facebook Marketplace. As long as they didn't already post it on Facebook Marketplace, I could almost, first off, if they did, you can't do this. If they did not, then I could almost always sell it faster for $100, $200, then they could get rid of it for free on Craigslist. So what I would do is the first step is I would call the person that had listed it. And the way I would get them on the phone call, you need to get them on the phone. I would send them an email. They didn't provide their phone and just say, hey, I'm really interested in this. Please give me a call whenever you can. They would call me. So that's how you get them on the phone. And just be like, hey, super interested in this. What I actually do is I sell stuff for people. And I saw your listing. I was like, wow, I could definitely sell this really quickly. And I scale it with ads. And I do a bunch of stuff just to make it sound really sophisticated because I actually do now know how to do that. It's really easy. You just boost the post with Facebook ads. I don't know how to run Facebook ads. All you need to do is go into Facebook Marketplace on the computer, hit boost post, and it works. I don't know if that's a bad thing for all you Facebook ads experts out there. I know that it's bad to do that with actual posts. I don't know if it's bad to do that with Marketplace. If you're an expert here, drop in the comments. Let me know if that's stupid. But on Marketplace, this worked really well to sell these bikes. I started selling these bikes. I sold 4 bikes in like 2 days once I started running ads to it. And I wasn't selling any when I first listed these bikes I just flipped. So I let them know, hey, I like run ads to it. I know how to market stuff really well, etc. And then I'd say like 70% of the time, they'd be like, yeah, sure. They care more about speed than they do money. So you need to tell them, I will get rid of this for you really fast. Like someone will probably come today and pick it up. If there's any objection, which they might say like, you know what, I have a bunch of people reaching out to me on Craigslist, just be like, hey, it's fine. Keep it on Craigslist. And if I can sell it quicker, then we'll do it. If not, then like, great, sell it to someone on Craigslist. And that worked really well. Again, first 2 days, I made $300 in profit with nothing but a phone. That's it. What I've learned now, though, is you can arbitrage other items. It doesn't have to be on the free section, right? I don't know why I didn't think of this when I was doing this, but someone doesn't have to be giving something away for free. You just need to find something that is of lesser value that's posted on Craigslist that you think you could sell for more. For example, these bikes that I'm selling right now, or that I sold, I bought them for $200. I then knew that I could sell it for $230, $250. So I reached out to the owner that has like 50 of these bikes, and I was like, hey, I'll like broker these deals for you pretty much and send you leads as long as I can do that and sell it for a higher price. I can like probably help you sell a lot more of these every week. They actually, I think, said no to that. So you're not always going to get a yes, but if they would have said yes, then I could probably make like a couple $100 a month just marketing, keeping my ad running for this bike. I was getting like 4 people reaching out a day, 5 people a day. I'd say like of that, probably 25% could potentially convert. So you could maybe make $30 or $50 a day. So you can arbitrage bigger products. I think RVs, there's a lot of opportunity for RVs. I sold Isaac's RV for him, and if he would have sold his RV to me specifically, which I would never have done, I didn't do this because Isaac helped me out a lot as my friend. But if I didn't know Isaac, I could have reached out to him, offered $4,000 cash, bought the RV, sold it for $8,000. So in terms of like brokering, you can hit up people with RVs and be like, hey, can I sell your RV for you? I like sell RVs for people. That's what I do. And if they're just listing on Craigslist, you could probably sell it for more on Marketplace as long as they're pricing it maybe a little under market. So that's a super cool way to do it. Okay, so we got some comments coming in from Instagram. Cody says, hey, Mike. What's going on, Cody? Hey, Castellrio, thanks for joining. What's up, TikTok? Someone says, come up with a random name right now that's catchy. No clue what that means. No idea what that means. Cool stuff. Again, if you guys have questions, drop it in the comments. Here to answer your questions live. Are we bringing on our guest, Deirdre? Okay, we're going to bring on our first guest pretty shortly. So that's how I do it, though. You don't have to store the item. You do not have to store the item. You can broker deals. So there's two options. Let's think about these bikes, right? I sold 4 bikes in 2 days for, I don't know, close to $900 in total. I don't know what that comes out to per bike. Let's say $225 per bike. Actually, that's right. Yeah, $225 per bike. So if we think about this, I could buy a bunch of bikes from this guy for say $180, and then I have the bikes. I need capital to do that though, right? But maybe I just talk to this guy and say, hey, I'll do it. I'll broker these. I'll still buy them for $200. I sell them for $225, maybe $230, maybe $250, and then I don't have to deal with inventory. Then I don't have to deal with any risk involved with capital. All I need to do is just list it on Facebook, scale the ads, right? And then by the way, I spent $20 in ads on those 4 bikes total. I would say like my ad spend had, I think when I was looking at the metrics, 16 people reach out to me that were interested in the bikes off of $20, which is super great because like we priced them a little bit higher than they should have been. What's going on, Ruby Doob? Let's see, TikTok. Kate Johnson, what's going on? Kate Johnson asks, what's the best way to set up a photographer business? That's a really good question. So, Katie Johnson, everyone that runs any type of creative business, listen up. Super important. Any creative business, portfolio. That's what matters, your portfolio. So if I'm running a photographer business, I was going to start a photographer business tomorrow, portfolio needs to be there. So for me, it's like, step 1 is like, I need to create great portfolio. Step 2, which maybe should be step 1, is who do I want to serve? Do not, this is a big mistake, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. This is a big mistake. A lot of people will try to serve everyone. Do not be the photographer for everyone because then you will serve no one. Pick a niche. It could be weddings. It could be the photographer for real estate. Just do real estate. Be the real estate photographer. You can still do weddings. Just don't market the weddings. Market that you're the real estate photographer and you're the expert with real estate. Get really good at real estate and build portfolio around real estate. Now, if you are the creative, you're not the you're not just trying to start a photography business and you don't know photography. If you're the creative, you can build your own portfolio with the work you do. I could start a photography business. Like I could legitimately scale. I think I could scale a photography business to 100,000 in revenue in 6 months if I started one right now. I would just find a photographer, say, hey, you're going to be my photographer. Can I use your portfolio from the start? We're going to do real estate photography. So I'd find someone with a really good real estate photo portfolio. I'd throw it all over my website. So we have this great portfolio right from the gate on the site that'll convert high. Then when you get in front of real estate agents, it's really easy, right? Kate Johnson, it's really easy to cold call real estate agents or do your marketing and get in front of real estate agents. You know exactly who to get in front of and be like, hey, I'm the photographer for real estate. Check out my amazing portfolio. It's either your portfolio or it's someone else's portfolio that is going to fulfill the work. Someone's calling me on Messenger. It's either your portfolio or someone else's. if you use someone else's portfolio, you have to use them to fulfill the work. You cannot use someone else. If you are a creative though, like Kate, and you maybe don't have portfolio for real estate agents, but you want to work with real estate agents, one way you can do it very quickly is hit up 10 real estate agents, be like, hey, I will do work for you for free. I'll work for you for free, do work for you for free, and then you can build a portfolio. And guess what? Those people you do free work for will end up turning into paid clients. That's just how it works. All right, super cool. So we're going to bring on our first guest today. His name's Abe. Kate, thanks for the question. I'll get back to TikToks. I see some more questions here. So we're going to bring in Abe. Abe, what's going on?
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing great. Doing great, Abe. Thanks for joining. What can I help you with?
So I'm on a Facebook Marketplace. I'm driving. I hope you can hear me okay. So first of all, you mentioned on the video, one of your videos, that I can advertise if I want to get into furniture, flipping furniture.
Mm-hmm.
I can advertise that I'm looking for movers.
Okay.
How do I go about it? What will be you have an example how you do that?
Yeah, that's a great question. This is super important. If you're trying to flip, listen up. So there's a couple ways you can do it, right? Like if you don't have a truck, which by the way, no truck, I flipped a couple couches and leveraged someone else that had a truck. So in Austin, Texas specifically, there's a Facebook group called Runner City. It made this very easy because I was able to find that group. I do not know if there's other Facebook groups like that in other cities, but what I can tell you is there are buy-sell trade groups on Marketplace in every city. Where are you located, Abe?
New Jersey.
New Jersey. Okay, nice, man. I'm from Philly. So dirty Jersey, dirty Philly. I like it. If you go in Jersey, there's definitely people flipping stuff. Go on Facebook, look up buy, sell, trade, any types of Facebook groups where people are selling stuff. Post in those Facebook groups and say, hey, I'm looking for someone with a truck that I can pay to move stuff for me. That's the first way. The second way is go on a site. You may have heard of it. It's called TaskRabbit. Go on TaskRabbit, hire someone on TaskRabbit if you really need someone. It's going to be a little bit more expensive though. So I highly recommend starting with Facebook groups and getting people with trucks that can move stuff for you before you actually need them. And like I have like 7 people in my phone book that I can hit up, shoot a quick text, be like, hey, you available? Hey, you available? And then just ask them like how much to move this. And I can just go through the list. And then someone says, yep, I'm available. I can move it. Bam, done. What's cool is once you have a couple of relationships, you just can use the same people over and over again. I think I paid the guy $30 to go drive, pick up a couch, load it in his car with this girl, and then deliver it. And that whole thing was $30. And here's the key, Abe, if you're going to do this, charge the person for delivery. You can actually even make a little bit of margin on the delivery, right? Like if you pay the person $30 and charge $40 for delivery, you're going to make an extra $10. So this is a huge benefit, by the way, in your listings, because a lot of people if they're buying couches, they don't have a truck to deliver it, and they're going to actually ask that. If you put in your listings, delivery fee, $50. Obviously, like figure out if that's what you're going to pay for. You don't want to say $50 and then it costs you $100. But it'd be great if the delivery costs you $30, $40 and then you charge $50 and make a little bit margin on the delivery. Does that answer your question?
It sounds a little bit low. Why would like a huge car, somebody would deliver this for $30? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it depends like where you're getting this stuff delivered, right? So if you're in New York City, probably going to be a little bit more expensive. In Austin, from point A to point B, this delivery was $30. I've had deliveries that cost me, when I did the bikes, that was $40. So he had to drive 20 minutes to the bikes, 4 bikes. Then he had to get the bikes, drive it like another 25 minutes to my office. So he charged me $35. I gave him a $5 tip, so it was $40. So just post and ask people, like say, like in Austin, let's say I'm based downtown and I want to pick up something in Pflugerville, which is an area in Austin. I would post, hey, I'm looking for someone with a truck to pick up this couch in Pflugerville and deliver it to downtown Austin. Let me know how much it would cost to do that. And you'll get a bunch of people that reach out and they'll say like, whatever it costs. And then you can just see some people are going to charge 50, some people are going to charge 30, someone might charge 20. It just really depends. Now, the other thing though, Abe, is you need to handle logistics, right? Like if the person that they're picking up from is not willing to help load the couch into the truck, then they're going to need a second person. Then it's going to be, instead of it being $40, it might be $70 because you're going to need to get a second person. So be conscious of that when you're talking to whoever you're selling stuff for. Just be like, hey, will you help me load it in the truck? If the answer is no, you're going to need two people, which is going to mean a higher delivery fee.
Mm-hmm. Also, where do you store the furniture?
I don't store it. That's just how I do it. You can get a storage unit, right? You can, if you have a garage, use a garage. I literally just list it, I sell it, person goes, picks it up, and then delivers it right to the buyer.
But one thing I think you mentioned to me, but Facebook don't like if I use the same person's picture, the algorithm they realize that they use the other person's picture.
Yes.
And it could boost me.
100%. So you have to make sure the post isn't already on Facebook. The way this works is taking things off of Craigslist and posting it onto Facebook. So if they already are listing on Facebook, you can't go list it again on Facebook unless you take your own pictures. So for the bikes, they actually were already on Facebook, but I originally bought 4 bikes myself. I took pictures and then they were my own pictures, so it was okay to put it on Facebook. And here's the trick. If you can actually put a little ad budget on your marketplace listing, you'll get so much more views, and you might spend like $5 on ads to get like thousands more views and then potentially even charge more for it. So it's very easy. You just go on your computer, hit boost post, you put a budget. I put 20 to sell the 4 bikes, and I got thousands and thousands and thousands of views, and it was great.
Really? Boost works for you? Because some people say Boost, they didn't see any increase in sales. That's why I'm wondering.
Yeah, this worked amazing for me. I was actually a little nervous. I was like, shit, I'm going to lose money on these bikes. I was like, I gotta put ad budget or else I'm screwed. I just went into Facebook Marketplace. I hit boost post. Again, if there's any Facebook ads experts listening, not calling Kirsten out or anything, but if there's any Facebook ads experts, I know you're not supposed to boost a post on Facebook. Never click the boost post button. But I don't know if that's different in Marketplace, because when you're clicking boost post, it's showing the ad in Marketplace. And I believe that there might be controls over that. Again, I'm not an ads expert by any means, but that's what I did, and it worked. And I was able to sell the 4 bikes really quick, like within a matter of 2 days after doing that, I think, 2-3 days.
How much profit can you make on a bike?
Well, that's all dependent on how much you can negotiate and how good you are at finding a deal. In this case, I think on this bike, if I spent $200 on it or $100, I think I can get them down to $180, and I could sell these for $240, $250. But it depends on how long you want to sit on inventory. If I sell it for $250, I'm going to sit a little bit longer on inventory. If I put it to $225, I can flip that inventory much more quickly. If I'm paying $100, if I can get him down to $180 at $225, what is that? That's like $45. So definitely doable. Kirsten, by the way, let me just pull this up. Kirsten says, LOL, boosting in the marketplace is a good call. We did it right, everyone. We did it right. You wouldn't want to run regular ads for that type of promotion, though. Okay. So if you're doing any Facebook ads, don't ever hit the boost post. But if you're doing marketplace, you go and do a little click on that boost post, and you're good to go. Thanks, Kirsten. Okay, cool.
I have some more questions. I don't know if how many questions I don't know. Oh, okay. So last week and a half, I found marketplace is very slow. I mean, is that right or wrong? Is that only by me? I'm wondering what's the input on this.
You know, that's interesting because I had some issues with marketplace with this bike. I don't know if it's like marketplace has been slow. I don't know. What it could be is a couple things. One, maybe it is slow. Not sure. When I boosted the post, I got a ton of views though. So maybe it's not slow. A lot of times it could also be your listing. So when I was flipping couches, sometimes my posts just weren't getting seen by people, and I didn't know why. It could be the copy. It could be you did a bad job with the tags. It could be the title. It could be the pictures. There's a lot of things that go into creating a good listing on Facebook Marketplace. Again, I'm by no means some marketplace expert. I just started doing this stuff for this project and learning as I go. these are some things that I noticed. You have to pay attention to what's selling. So look at other listings. You might be overpricing. If you're overpricing your product, you're not going to get as many views. If the title's bad, not going to get as many views. Pictures suck, not as many views. Copy isn't the best, not as many views. So these are some things you have to take into account and just get better at over time. And for me, the way I got better at it is looking at other listings, knowing where I was pricing in the market. If I'm selling a bike, guess what I'm doing? I'm looking up bikes and seeing what other bikes are selling for that are similar. Am I above market pricing? Am I below? Am I in the middle? It's good to know these types of things. Is the copy good? What are people actually looking for? I don't know. You gotta research that for the product. So what I can tell you is boosting this post was by far the craziest amount of traffic I've ever gotten to a listing, and you can do it with very little money. You can boost a post to $5.
So what works really better, furniture or bikes?
Sorry, what was that?
Which one works better, furniture or bikes? Which one is more or get more hits?
Okay, so furniture or bikes, I don't think either is better. I think you need to figure out what you want to be selling. I think it goes to like any type of advice I'll give in business is be specific with what you do. You can sell a bunch of different stuff to like test out and maybe get good at a couple things, but I would try to be focused on like a couple things, not a bunch of things, because then it's going to be, you want to be an expert, right? Like if I keep doing this, I can look at a couch now and be like, that's going to sell. That's going to sell. That isn't going to sell. You want to get good at that, right? So like maybe become an expert at bikes, maybe become an expert at couches. I would start with one, or at least have one that you really, really focus on, and the other one you don't focus on as much, but maybe you start playing around with. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The more of an expert that you are, the more money you're going to make with whatever it is that you're flipping.
Do you have a sample from an ad? What do you try to get people to deliver for you?
I probably do. You know what? Normally I would just say like whatever, but I want to test out sharing my screen here. Let's see. Let's test this out. Let's see if I can share my screen with all you guys. Give me 1 second. I gotta log in to my Facebook account. I'll show you guys my bike ad. Let's do it. I'm pumped. I'm pumped to try this out. So I'm in. Let's see. Let's do it. Where's share screen? All right, I'm about to share my screen. Hope this works. Okay, cool. So I'm sharing my screen. Can you guys see my screen on there? It's a little delayed. A little bit delayed, everyone. We got a little delay. All right. Well, it's okay because okay. So here are my sold listings. Right. Here's my bike. There it is. 230.
I don't see it. No.
Can you see it?
No.
No. Well, looks like restream. I have to make it go live. I see. Okay. There we go. Now you guys should be able to see it. So I'm sharing my screen here. Can you see it now?
It's very small. Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, great. So you can see that I sold this bike. Here's the bike. There's my ad. I sold 4 of these, baby. So this is the ad. I said selling this new commuter bike. I only used it for a week. Decided to get an electric scooter. Super important. I'm so pumped to share this with you guys. Ready? Do you guys notice I said I only use it for a week? I didn't say this is brand new. I did say it actually. I said new commuter bike. I only use it for a week. This is crazy. When I listed this listing and marked it as new and said this is a new bike that I've never used before, what are you doing? what just happened? We lost Abe. Peace, Abe. If you need, click the link, Abe, to get back in here. Lost them. But what I was telling Abe here, is my screen still sharing? Okay, we're having issues. Pretty much, I was able to sell these. Can I share my screen again? Can I do that again? Okay, we're sharing the screen again. Let's do it. Oh, we lost the audio? So they didn't get any of the audio? You guys didn't get any audio. Great. Okay. We're learning Restream, everyone. Let me re-walk through this. Here's the bike I sold. Now, what's super interesting, I want you to pay attention. It says like new, used 1 week ago. When I originally posted this, when I listed it as new, it did not do as well as when I said it was used. Mind-boggling, but it's a psychology thing, I guess, on Facebook Marketplace. People want to buy things that aren't new, I guess, on Facebook because they feel like they're getting ripped off. So when I switch it to used, use this bike for 1 week, which was true because this one that I actually sold, I had used for a week. It sold way quicker. So maybe take a note of that. Retails for $800, bike 20. Now, by the way, this whole listing, I ripped a lot of it from the original poster and just made it a little bit better. Just the really features of the bike, nothing too crazy. You could go crazy with this and do the benefits and really become a salesman. I didn't do too much. You really don't have to do that much. The pictures are what matter. So like, look at these killer pictures, amazing pictures of this great bike right here. That's what matters. Do little good pictures. So what I want to show you, I don't know if I can, I don't know how I did this, but I would love to show you guys my ads thing for this and how much I spent, $20. I don't know how to do it though. Don't know how to get in there, so I guess not. Sorry guys, but there's a boost post thing. So if I hit mark is available, let me just make it available real quick. So it's available. Then you just hit, what did I hit? Boost. There it is, baby. Boost again. Let's boost it. Oh, the insights just showed up out of nowhere. So here they are. I spent $20 over 5 days. I got 12 people message me. I reached over 7,000 people. Nuts, for $20. And I was able to sell all 4 bikes. There's the demographics and stuff. That's all I did. Like I literally, $20. I went in here. I clicked. I can boost it again. Look how easy this is. Click. Boosted. Everyone sees it in Austin, Texas. So super cool stuff. You guys can do this too. It's not hard to click a button. I'm gonna get off here now. Let me get off here. Bam, we're back. Okay. So I know there's a lot of questions coming through on Instagram, on TikTok. Again, TikTok, join me on YouTube. I can bring you live. You want to go live with me? I go to YouTube. Okay. So let me answer some questions here. Unfortunately, we lost Abe. You mentioned, okay, so Geoff asked, you mentioned at first you didn't know much about advertising, which is the agency I'm creating. I can't see all of this, or you guys can't see all of it, but the rest of it says, where did you go to learn about e-marketing and advertising? So, Geoffrey, great question. In terms of learning any of these things, what I push on everyone is you need to reach out to mentors. Anything you need to learn, mentors. So a couple different ways. Number one, cold email people. Like if you're running an agency, the first type of person you need to cold email is people that run the same business as you. So guess who you're reaching out to? Other agency owners. Reach out to them, say, hey, I also just started an agency, would love to talk agency with you. You hit them up, you get on a call, you build a relationship. 3 things are going to happen. 1, they can mentor you, even though that's not the sole purpose, it's just to get to know them. If you come out humble, it's important to show humbleness and humility when you're just starting out. Just be like, hey, I don't know that much. Do you mind helping me? If someone came to me, which by the way has happened with many cases, and they're like, for those of you that don't know, I run a software development agency called Toll Media. If someone comes to me and is like, hey, I'm just starting out running my software development agency, do you mind helping? Fuck yeah, I want to help you. Like, I know how hard it was when I started. Here's what I want you to do. Think, because a lot of people get scared to cold email people and talk to mentors. Here's what I want you to do. Think about something you're an expert at. If you're listening right now, what are you an expert at? TikTok. What are you an expert at? Now, think about it. Think about it a little more. Think about when you first started whatever that thing was and where your mindset was at. Now think about if someone reached out to you and said, hey, I really want to start doing whatever you're an expert at, but I don't know what to do. I've been struggling. I really need some guidance. Do you mind getting a call with me for 30 minutes? What are you going to say to them? You're going to be like, fuck yeah, I would love to help you. This, like, you're talking about what you're passionate about. You're helping someone. You know what it's like to be there. There's a lot of people that want to help you. You need to reach out to them. So that's the first thing I do, Geoffrey. I reach out to people that can mentor me. The next part of that, though, is figuring out how to add value to them. So I figure out how can I add value to them, and I show as much gratitude as possible. I ask them, like, if there's anything I can do to help you in return as a thank you, I'm more than happy to do so. Anything. There's things that you're really good at that you can help other people and offer value. Even if you think that there's no way you can add value, I promise there is. I remember when I was first starting Toll Media, I need to get better at technical recruiting. So I reach out to technical recruiters at Google, Facebook, Apple, Airbnb, Turo, Braintree, and I can bring up the email right now. Literally, the email went word for word. Hi, I fucking suck at technical recruiting. It's caused me a lot of problems, and I've had a lot of failures because of it. Massive humility. Then I said to them, would love to, the next, I call it sucking up, the second step. I go, you're obviously really good. You work at Google. Next step, gratitude. I'd love to get 30 minutes to pick your brain. If there's anything I can do to help you, it'd be so amazing to get 30 minutes of your time. Value add. I started a group in Philly called the Philly Tech Entrepreneurs. I run a group in Philly on Meetup called Philly Tech Entrepreneurs. I'd be happy to promote any jobs you're recruiting for at my Meetup. Bam, value add. I guarantee you there's ways that you guys can add value too. So if you can't, again, just ask. That's how you add value. If there is any way, let me know. I'm happy to do so. So Geoffrey, got a little off topic. I went a little down the mentor route because I'm so passionate about getting mentors. It'll change your life if you start emailing people every single week. The second way you do it is interviewing people that are really good at it. Freelancers. Go on sites like Upwork.com. Post the job on Indeed. Say you're looking to hire an expert XYZ, an expert with Facebook ads. When I originally started this project, I was going to be I wanted to go to the e-com route, so I was going to start an e-commerce marketing company, which I ended up going away from. But I interviewed like 10 people in e-commerce marketing. Guess what? I know a lot about e-commerce marketing now just from interviewing them. And if I need someone to fulfill the work, I had the expertise now to fulfill the work. What I actually did is I built a whole site around this e-com marketing company using someone else's portfolio that I had interviewed and told him, hey, I'm going to get all these clients and send them all to you and use your portfolio, and I got permission to do so. But remember, you can only do that if you get permission from the person. So I hope that answers your question, Geoffrey. Okay, cool. So next person, Geoffrey, if that answers your question, let me know. I can go further on it. Next person, Chewy Marufo asks, there's a guy on TikTok or says that resells furniture. One of his tips is to take pics of the flaws. Same as your listed is used tip. You're right. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I think it's really important if you guys are flipping stuff to take pictures of the flaws. You don't want to show people stuff that does not disclose. This is a big problem, by the way. So listen up. If you're going to flip stuff and do this broker model that I told you guys about, you need to ask the seller if there's anything wrong with it when you get on a call with them. That's the first thing I do once they agree for me to list it. They'll go, hey, yeah, let's do this. What do I need to do? Is usually what they'll ask. And I tell them, you don't need to do anything. I'll just use the pictures you have and I'll like create a listing and I'm going to market it in a bunch of places, whatever. But what I tell them is there anything wrong with the couch that I should be aware of? And a lot of times, I'd say like, not a lot, but like 10 to 15% of the time, they'll be like, oh, this is messed up. And I'd be like, oh my God, thank God I asked that question, or else I would have listed this. Someone would have gone and been like, oh, this thing's screwed up. You have to ask that question because people don't always take pictures of the flaws. So thanks for sharing that, Chewy. Geoffrey says, awesome, thanks. Of course, Geoffrey, happy to help. I'm going to try to get to some other questions. We got some on, I know, Instagram. I've seen some activity on Instagram. You guys gotta get on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Let's see. My brother's saying weird stuff on Instagram, making me laugh over here. Someone, VJ says, hope you become a big entrepreneur. I just want to help people. Someone keeps saying no. And that's the comments on Instagram. This is so much. I love going live. Going live is so much fun. Especially right now, because we don't have like a massive following on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. I cannot. We're going to use this team MDC. Don't forget about this, Logan. I love this shit. I love that we're going live. We have a couple people on asking questions that we're helping, and we're staying on live till the end. But so many of you guys are like, fuck, I don't want to go live because I don't have many viewers. We have like, how many people we have on YouTube right now? We have like 13 people. Like, this is so much fun. I'm so excited that you guys are here in the early days of all this. So then when people watch this, they get to see this. They get to see what it's like starting from where we're at now, maybe where we're at in a year. I want people to see this. All right, let's get back to, we have some more questions on TikTok. We have a couple on YouTube too that we'll get to in a second. So TikTok, get on YouTube. Kate asks again, what about taxes? What's the best way to set that up? I got a lot of heat on TikTok, by the way. Supposedly I said something a little bit wrong, and all the technical accountants were all getting their panties in a bundle about it. So first off, they're right a little bit. I don't want to give legal advice. I phrased something wrong. People got mad. People are always getting all bothered and stuff, but they helped the video blow up because there's so much bothered engagement. These bothered people, the bothered people of social media, they're just laughing, telling me to stop. She's protecting you bothered individuals on social. I'm not going to give any legal advice. But I don't, that's a general question. What about taxes? What's the best way to set that up? There's so much about taxes that's a little bit too general. Katie, I'm sorry, can't answer that. If you go a little more specific, I'll tell you how I do things, because I don't want to get the bothered people all heated. All right, so it's Jeffrey. Sorry, Jeffrey. My brain is not that well developed, so I read it as Geoffrey. So Jeffrey asks, wondering, you live in Philly. By the way, Jeffrey, maybe your brain's not developed that much either because you spelled Philly wrong. So both of us are screwed here. You live in Philly. How did you choose Austin? It's a cool question. So when someone's calling me, I got to reject that. Sorry, TikTok. When I was in Philly, I was like, you know what? I want to experience new places. This is really important, everyone. Like, a lot of people, they grow up and they experience their local area and that's it. And they're not like excited to ever go anywhere else. I think AJ might be calling me. Can you go let him in? I think it's AJ. I don't know. Sorry, one of our editors, I think, is trying to get in. But yeah, so experience other places, like not just your local area. I was like, well, what's it like living in Chicago? What's it like living in Austin? What's it like living in Miami? My software development agency is all remote. We've always been remote before COVID, but when remote used to be cool, now it's not that cool because everyone's remote. Before, when it used to be cool, we were a remote company, so that meant I could work from anywhere. So I moved to Chicago. I was like, I want to try Chicago in the summer. Freaking awesome. Chicago in the summer, amazing place to live. Loved Chicago in the summer. Definitely couldn't do winter. After the summer was done, I was like, Austin has an amazing tech scene. They have an amazing startup scene. I've heard so many good things. I'm going to go check it out. My game plan was to stay here for 3 months. I've been here since October 2018, I think. It's been close to 2 years now. So now I've traveled in between there. I was also like, I want to go to Miami because in the winter it does get a little cold here. So I was like, me and the girlfriend were like, screw this, let's go to Miami Beach. So when winter came, we moved to Miami Beach. Then COVID hit and we're like, well, let's go move home with the family and make sure our parents are okay. So that's what's cool about running a remote company, and working at a remote company, working remotely. You don't have to just be an entrepreneur and run a remote company, but working remotely gives you a lot of freedom. So I've got to experience a couple different places. Again, back to the question, Austin was for the startup and tech scene, which, by the way, freaking awesome place to live. I love Austin so much. Going to definitely be here for the rest of my life in some capacity. Such an awesome city. The tech and the startup scene here is just incredible. Food's great. The weather's great. Scooter city, you can scooter around everywhere. You don't need a car. Can't say enough good things about Austin. If you're thinking about Austin, just come check it out. We have something in Austin called Capital Factory, which is like kind of a hub for entrepreneurship and a lot of other things. Definitely just come check it out and just meet some people here. There's a lot of people doing really cool things. By the way, Restream, which we're using right now, I think they're based in Austin. They raised $50 million recently. So congratulations, Restream. Cool. So let's see. The American Jobs Factory, getting people jobs in America. Have you ever used Score? Yes, that's very familiar. I think Score is a mentoring platform. It's a network. Yeah, Score is great. Thanks for bringing that up. I think that's really helpful to people that are listening. I think I used Score when I was in college. Score, I don't want to botch this. So, Deirdre, let me know if I'm botching this, but I believe Score is people that are retired and they now mentor people. I remember with Score, I don't know if you guys listening know Six Flags. It's an amusement park, big amusement park. I got connected through Score with the CFO of Six Flags, if I remember correctly. I think it was Score. There's a lot of really cool people that are now retired, and they spend time mentoring people, and they do it on Score. Yes, American Job says retired executives. Okay, so if you want to connect with retired executives, Score is the place to do so. I can vouch for it from years ago, years and years, maybe like 6-7 years ago. I used Score. And again, I remember getting connected with the CFO, the ex-CFO of Six Flags. And I went to school for finance. So I think I asked him some financial questions. And he was just like a super cool person to talk to. So check out Score if you want to talk to some retired execs. It's a pretty cool place. Okay. Meant for More says, I moved to Miami New Year's Eve to get on myself, to bet on myself, not get on myself, to bet on myself. That's solid. Why'd you move to Miami? Meant for More. I love Miami. Miami was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed Miami. Thought the startup scene was total trash in Miami, by the way. Not a fan. Really didn't think the startup scene was good there. Loved living in Miami. The weather's amazing. The WeWork office we had was incredible. The food was incredible. 03, if anyone goes to Miami, Mr. 03, best pizza. But startup scene, not good in Miami. I will tell you that. I was not impressed. Compared to Austin, at least. Okay, so someone asked on TikTok, which TikTok, get on YouTube. Can you explain the rule of 10? Okay, great question by Hey Boogie. Hey Boogie. I know Hey Boogie's making some good dance TikToks over on TikTok. Okay, so Hey Boogie, can you explain the rule of 10? So the rule of 10 is a rule that I came up with that just makes it, I think, easier to understand agency and staffing world. So the way the rule of 10 works is if you have someone that you bill out full time, so 40 hours a week full time to a client, and let's say you pay that person $20 an hour, and you bill, or let's say you pay the person $30 an hour and you bill the client $40 an hour, right? So Logan here, our videographer, I pay him, let's say $30 an hour, and then client, I keep getting calls. The client over here, I charge the client $40 an hour, and Logan works full time. That's a $10 an hour difference, right? So the gross margin on that is $1,600. There's 160 hours in a month. We're doing a $10 an hour markup. So the revenue of $40 an hour that we're getting from the client minus $30 an hour that I pay Logan to do video work, we'll say, I make $10 an hour, which means $1,600 a month if I keep Logan working full time. So if I go to that person and I sign a full-time retainer, Logan works full time, I make $1,600. If he works part-time and works 20 hours a week, I make $800. So rule of 10 makes it easy. If you do a $5 an hour markup on that person's billable, then you make $800 a month in profit. So if you're like, fuck, I need like $3,200 to cover my expenses to live, all you really need to do is find one person that you bill out and mark their hourly up by $20 an hour, and you make $3,200 $3,200 a month in gross margin. In the software development world, it's pretty easy to do that stuff. When you start working with people that have higher billables, it's easier to do that stuff. And when you have a really good niche service, it's easier to do that stuff. I remember, when I signed my first retainer with a client, we were billing him, I want to say $7,600 a month, and I was paying the developer $3,200 a month. So we had this huge margin. I was like, holy shit, this is so freaking awesome. But that took time to learn how to do all that. So that's why I talk about the rule of 10. It's really helpful when you're starting an agency and kind of getting into this stuff and trying to figure out how it works. Lenny says on Instagram, you inspire me. You inspire me, Lenny. You should come live and we'll talk about some fun stuff. So Meant for More says, starting a concierge company, would love to know if you would mentor. Get on here. Meant for More. Meant for More. We'll come on and mentor. Get on our live stream. DM me and I'll answer any of your questions. If you want to, again, come live here, go on YouTube. And I guess Deirdre's dropped the link on YouTube, right, Deirdre? For anyone that wants to go live and ask questions live. But if you have questions, I'm more than happy to answer. Good luck on your concierge company. That sounds pretty exciting. Someone asked, what is your experience with affiliate marketing? KZ. Not too much. You know what's funny though? One of my very first businesses, KZ, was affiliate marketing. I started my first company when I was 16, selling headphones, Bose headphones. That didn't end well. That ended in a letter from a Bose attorney. And then after I kind of shut that down, I started looking like, how can I actually rank sites on Google? And I started just falling into affiliate marketing, and I started doing some like affiliate SEO sites. Someone asked. Okay, I'll answer that in a second. So I started doing like SEOing sites, ranking them on Google, and driving them to affiliate offers. So I don't have much experience with affiliate marketing. That's the last time I did it. I was probably 17, 18 years old. What I will say is there's a lot of BSers out there that try to sell people on affiliate marketing and how easy it is and all this stuff. Like, it's not easy. Nothing in business is easy. I think it's super cool. Like with MDC, we're not monetizing anything right now. We might start running ads. We could potentially bring on like affiliates and do affiliate marketing. I rather do sponsorship deals though, and really partner more integrated and deeply with the people that we're going to be promoting and like really believe in that. But the only advice I could say with affiliate marketing is really believe in the product that you're selling. Also, I would assume affiliate marketing is a great way to test some things you might want to get into. Like if I wanted to sell, let's just say bikes. I want to start a bike company, but I didn't want to go all in first. Affiliate marketing is a great way to test that, right? Like go find another bike company, be an affiliate for them, do all the marketing. You're not going to make nearly as much, but you'll get to see certain things. You'll get to see how that whole world works without taking the risk of starting your own bike company. That's what I would like affiliate marketing for. But that's the extent of my experience, KZ. All right, so we have a question. Where'd this question come from? A question was sent to us that says, where do you see yourself in 1 year? Is Mike's alias business-wise? What is your vision of your perfect $1 million business? So I guess 1 year is my alias. So in this project, it's a little bit hard to say. It's either going to be hopefully hitting the $1 million with an e-com company, hitting it with a marketing company. It's probably going to be one or the other is my assumption right now. I do see myself having a team of people. So maybe like 5, 6, 7 people by then that are on the team that I'm going to build for whatever company it is that I'm getting off the ground. So like right now with this marketing company, I need to hire people now. So I could see in the next month or two that I have like 2 or 3 people full time just from this marketing company. So I still think I'm going to hit the $1 million goal. I don't have much time. Like we have like 9.5 months to do $1 million. That's not much time. But I still think that I can do it. I'm going to have to really fucking work hard. Hopes that answers your question. Let me just make sure I answered all of it. What is your vision of your perfect $1 million business? I don't see any business as like perfect. I don't go, oh, this is the perfect business. I just see that I think it's easiest. It's easier than anything else to hit $1 million running an e-com company because you can scale it very easily with ads. So I hope that answers your question. It's hard to scale service businesses as you can e-com businesses with ads when you're running, say, a marketing agency. That stuff's a little bit harder. So there is no perfect business. I enjoy staffing, though. I enjoy things, and this, for me, my perfect business is going to be a lot different maybe than you. For you, if you want to figure out what your perfect business is, I think it's like really looking at what's important to you in terms of like, what do you want to learn? Who do you want to work with? What types of people do you want on your team? What type of impact do you want to make? What type of work-life balance do you want? What type of freedom do you want? When I say freedom, I mean working remotely maybe. So those are the types of things I think are really important to figure out what is my perfect business. How much money do I want to be making? Finance obviously comes into a part of that, right? So that's how I would evaluate what my perfect business is. I guess to answer your question, for me, I value impact over everything else. For this project, I don't care to make as much impact for the business I start. I care about the impact for MDC, but because I need to make $1 million in 12 months, I don't care as much about the impact. I care more about, can we make $1 million and be profitable with a business in 12 months, just to show people that it is possible. I like staffing though, because I come from the agency world, and I like staffing better than actual agency work. So that's where I love to play. And I understand that business really well. So KZ asks, and I know we have a couple more questions coming through. KZ asks, what was your day in the life like before this trip? KZ's defining this as a trip. It's probably a good way to define this. So my day in the life is really different depending on when. So like what's funny? I'm glad you asked this, KZ. Really glad you asked this. If you go, there's a picture that I have. I can't pull it up because these are, oh, by the way, Instagram, you have 2 minutes left and then you're pieced out. So meant for more, you got to either DM me on Instagram or go over to YouTube. So there's a picture. You know what? If Instagram's ending, I'm going to say, peace, Instagram, you're ended. Oh, is that your phone or mine? No, it's mine. It is? It is. Damn it, I can't show you guys the picture. I was going to show you the picture. There's a picture of me in a studio apartment living with someone that worked for me. In a studio, 500 square feet maybe, sharing a studio with another dude. I took a picture. I created a lot of content in that studio of the whole journey of building my business. I made $120,000 in revenue that month. And I was living in a studio with another dude. You know why I did that? Because I care about building my business versus the losers that love to flex and sell you guys bullshit with like private jets and all that crap. What that means, if you're spending money on a private jet, or if you're spending money on like whatever it is, you want to live in a penthouse, congratulations. If that's what you enjoy doing, good for you. But that means that penthouse that costs you $4,000 a month, that's $4,000 a month that's now not going into your business. So in the long run, guess who wins? Is it the loser that's posting pictures in their penthouse? Or is it the person actually building their business and putting money back into their business and back into their business and back into their business? Don't get confused by that, people. Especially you that are like very early in your career of entrepreneurship, if that's what you're getting into. I always say, don't get fat. Don't feed yourself. Feed your business. You want your business to get fat. You see how lean I am here? See how lean? Get into it, Deirdre. They're just mad that I'm going on this rant. She doesn't agree with it, like most things I say. Deirdre always goes, "You embarrass me." That's what my girlfriend thinks about me. She's laughing. Don't get fat. Do not get fat. So the least amount of money that you can spend on yourself and put back into your business is going to grow and grow and grow. So I love that picture. I'm going to post it on Instagram. Kirsten, if you're still listening, we're posting that picture today on Instagram of me made $120,000 that month living in a fucking studio with another dude. So that was my day. The rant here though is, what was your day in the life? So I graduated from college. I turned down a 6-figure offer to work in banking. I turned down every single job offer I had out of college to work on my startup called Parking Bee. And from 2016 to 2017, 18, I worked 100 hours a week out of a basement. Best fucking times of my life building that business. Then I started Told Media, more 100-hour weeks up until maybe 2019. And then, 2018, when I moved to Austin, November, December 2018, around then, is when those 100-hour weeks stopped instantly. They just stopped. I was just like, I kind of want to travel. And then I went from 100-hour weeks to 5-hour weeks overnight. It was super interesting. But I just didn't feel, I was like, I need to take a break. I love working so much, but right now I just don't feel like working. So I let my business coast, which hurt my business, but I just traveled. I was in Miami Beach every weekend, Las Vegas every weekend, Chicago. Like I was literally just in a different city every single week, just having fun, traveling places, hanging out with friends, going out every night. And then that happened for maybe 6 months and then just totally stopped. And I went back to the other extreme and went back to 100-hour weeks. It was 100-hour weeks again. But like I like to travel still. So we went to Miami Beach and it was nice to like go out and like explore the city and stuff. But honestly, I was in the office. How often? But it was probably like 13 hours a day in the office when we were in Miami Beach. So I like to work though. That's what I like to do. Not everyone likes to do that. I think it's like figuring out what's best for you right now. It is important to me to get as good as possible at building business and helping other people. The more I spend on my business, the better I get at serving other people and helping other people. And that's why I put the work in right now. Okay, so hope that answers your question, KZ. Let's see. Michael Costello says, I'm looking to start a scooter company while I'm home in Philly. How would you go about starting how would you go about starting? So Michael, that's a little, I need more context there. Oh, by the way, that's meant for more. Cool. So if you want to go live, Michael, and ask your question, is there a link to click, Deirdre? Just click the link. Drop it, and I can answer this question. That's a little bit hard to answer because I don't know if it's an electric scooter company, if you're going to sell scooters, if you're going to rent out scooters. I don't know. So if you click the link, if you want to go live with me, I'll answer it live. We still have a little bit more time. We're a little over time, but I'm going to stick around and make sure I answer all your questions on TikTok and everyone that's here on YouTube. And then Michael, again, if you want to go live, just click that link. So I'm going to go to the next question. Let's see. Emil, for some reason, I can't show your question. Emil asks, he says, yo, just catching up with the videos, killer project. Appreciate you, Emil. I see a hockey stick curve needed in months, 8 to 12, possibly of building something and selling it to meet the spread and still hit the mark. So Emil, I don't think you're right about hockey stick. We need to fucking rock it. But I don't think I need to sell the business. I also don't, the rule is revenue. I don't know literally if selling a business counts as revenue. It counts as income, I believe. I don't think that counts as revenue though, Emil. So can't sell a business to make the $1 million. Again, I believe, I'm not 100% sure. I could correct me if I'm wrong, accounting people on TikTok who are all up and bothered by my lack of accounting knowledge. But I don't believe revenue counts as I don't believe selling a business counts as revenue. So can't do that. But what that means is we got to break things down. So if you're watching right now and your goal is to build $1 million company, bad goal. I'm just going to say that. Don't make that your goal. Not a good goal. I don't understand why that's people's goals. I never went into business and went, I need to make $1 million. But that's the number one answer for some weird reason. But if you want to make $1 million and that's your goal, break it down, work your way backwards. So if I want to make $1 million with an agency and my average contract size is, let's say, $3,000 a month, I just made that math hard on myself. Let's do $2,000 a month. Then I can work my way back on how many clients I need. I need 50 clients in a 10-month. I need 50 clients today doing $2,000 a month to be able to hit the $1 million goal. That's a lot of freaking clients. So I might need to up my prices and get like an average of $5,000 contracts and maybe have 20 clients and be able to get to 50 clients. So then on month 6, I'm at 50 clients, I'm able to hit the $1 million goal. So you got to work your way backward, everyone. Have a goal. Go, okay, if my average price is $2,000, I need 50 clients. If I need 50 clients, how many cold calls do I have to make to get 50 clients paying that? Oh, I need to make 100 cold calls to get one client. How long does that take me? How much does that cost to have someone doing that? Oh, okay, I need to spend $1,000 for each client. Okay, cool. And then you work your way back and you can figure out how to maybe hit that goal. So, Emil, I'm starting up here. I'm working my way back, my man. But the good news is I have all the time in the world now, minus MDC, to build my business. So that's what I got working in my favor. So American Jobs Factory says, I would find a like business to work for or work with. What do you I think what you're asking here is I think it'd be a good idea to find a business and work with them that maybe is already doing $2 million in revenue and help them get to $3 million in revenue. That's something I thought about, if that's what you're asking. I think it's a really good strategy. I don't think I'm going to do it though. I think I want to build from scratch. It'd be cool to show people how to do that though. It'd be really cool to show people like, hey, here's how you can create wealth, and like almost like with like partnerships. But I would like to instead show people how to do it from scratch versus doing that on this first iteration of MDC. So let's answer some TikTok questions here. Again, I think it was Michael. If you want to go live, Deirdre dropped the link. I'm going to answer all TikTok questions, and then we're done with TikTok. What's that? So TikTok, let's see. We got a lot of questions on TikTok. I'm gonna pull TikTok in here so you guys can see. This is how I do TikTok. There's TikTok. Okay, so someone asks, I just did something weird on TikTok. I'm red now on TikTok. What's the plan after the 12-month mark? Go back to your old job or maintain whatever you build. This is by Tag1225. So after this is done, I don't know. It's a great question, Tag. Great question. I don't know what I'm going to do after this project's done. I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity to potentially. I want to continue working with my team. That's the one thing I do know. We have an amazing team here at MDC. So I'm going to figure out how we continue working together after this. I'm going to obviously like figure stuff out with Toll Media, my development agency, continue working on that. But we'll see where the opportunity is. There might be a season 2 of MDC after this is all done, potentially, where we take someone else and go from 0 to $1 million that's never done it before. There's a chance. That's one idea. I don't know if that'll come to fruition, but that'd be a lot of fun. Sorry that I'm red, guys. There we go. I think I got rid of it. Someone says, "Oh my God, you're the best. How did you do this?" Thanks, Elijah. You're awesome. Let's see. What's up, EQNH? EX Gambit. What's up? Breezeland says, your video about filing as an S-Corp is nonsense. You don't know what you're talking about. These are the bothered people at TikTok I'm talking about. They're all bothered. Sorry, Breezeland. You can not follow me. This is why I don't give any advice. We got all these accountants and bookkeepers and tax. They're all bothered all over TikTok. And guys, embrace the bothered people. Be like, yo, bothered people, fuck off. Like that. Deirdre, stop. Chill here. I'm on a rant. Guys, don't let bothered people like Breslin get in your way of posting. Like, if people are going to be bothered and write negative things, embrace it. Be like, yo, Breslin, fuck off. Like, you can do that. You don't let people like that get you down and be scared to post. Now, Breslin has a point. Technically, I was a little off on what I said. But at the end of the day here, I'm here to tell you to not to embrace the fuckers that are going to leave hate. Like, it's fun. Look how much fun I'm having with Breslin. I actually love you, Breslin. Thank you for the hate. It's fun. Just be like, yo, you're bothered. Enjoy it. Next person asks, is an LLC good for a trucking business? Why don't you ask Breslin? Go ask Breslin. All right, that's all the TikTok answers. Don't ask Breslin, the expert. All right. Let's see. Let me get to my final questions here. Kirsten says that's next year's project. Yes, ma'am. So David asks, can we see any live cold call breakdowns? I might do that in the next live. I was thinking about doing that in the next live stream, like doing cold calling live. That'd be really fun to show you guys how my cold calls go. And then after I do the cold call, explain to you maybe like what I screwed up, what went well, what didn't go well, why I'm taking the approach. Would you guys like that? If you guys would like that, message, leave a comment in the message. Say, I want to hear cold call it live, and we'll maybe do that next week. Emil did hashtag bothered accountants. It's not just accountants. We got a lot of bothered people up on social. I think Mike Tyson has a really good quote. It's like, these people don't know what it's like to get punched in the throat for what they're saying. Something like that. Good quote by Mike Tyson. They wouldn't be saying it if it was in person. But that's pretty much it. Done with TikTok here. We got our alarm going off. So this concludes our live stream. Unfortunately, Michael Costello was not able to get to you, but everyone that joined, I don't know why I'm looking all fuzzy here. Sorry about that. I'm a little out of focus for some weird reason, but everyone that joined, thank you so much for joining. I hope this was helpful. I have so much fun on these live streams. It's so much fun to get to talk to you guys, answer your questions. We do this every Monday at 2 p.m. CST. We might change the time. I'm thinking maybe we should test out lunch, see if people want to do it at lunch or maybe an earlier time. But again, enjoyed talking to you all. Go crush it. It's Monday. We got the whole rest of the week, baby. I'll see you in the next